Alright. So our second player coming in from SlayerS here. Let's see if he can take out
SlayerS, Leon.
Yep, we've got 2 R players coming out.
Yeah.
He's number 2. Took that from Boxer. Making some funny faces. SlayerS fighting.
And there's an opponent. Currently 1 win streak here. Can he continue it?
I don't know, can he? He is.
TSL, revival.
Cool bracelet. Got a lot of fans. That one guy, man. He's like putting it around his neck, putting it around his eyes. He thinks he is TSL Revival.
So like we were saying, this map, very interesting gameplay-wise. When you match it up against a lot of the other maps in this map pool, just because of that in-house, natural, and a lot of players tend to go for just very strong 2-base play. It's very rare that you see a lot of 3 in very strong macro games.
I think we might see a command center first from Ryung because he hasn't made his barracks yet. He hasn't sent an SCV to make one in the middle of the map, and 14 CC.
But on the other side, Revival has chosen not to take that back natural, or the Rich Vespian Geyser.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
He might be choosing for a very quick third to take that spot there. It's a lot of players usually like taking it because of that extra gas. You optimize your drones or SCV placement, and
but obviously, he is taking that in-house gas first because if you take the bridge gas when you take the front door expansion, you're going to be long-distance gas mining. But you know,
well, that's why people usually put it
exactly.
Back, so.
We're seeing the front one there, meaning he wants to get more out of it longer, and I think you're right. I think we will see a very fast third taking out the backdoor expansion. It almost doesn't make sense not to see that.
Yeah, well, sometimes if you do that and you try to take a third as Zerg, it's very difficult to stop the pressure that's already coming. And this way you can establish a defense first and then take a very, very easy third.
Exactly. That's so true. On top of that, you spread your creep towards your main a little bit faster. You don't have that weird time where the Terran has a lot of units out, you don't have any creep over there, and I think more and more in the future we will see Zergs try to take that outside expansion first for that reason.
Yeah. But either way, I'm kind of curious on what Ryung's planning on doing as an overall game plan. Like we were saying before the match started, the SlayerS knew that this could happen, so they'd have 2 players preparing to defeat Revival, and we said, it's interesting they're sending out another Terran. You put up some good points. Another point I'm thinking is there are a lot of talented Terrans on this team.
There are.
And some teams prefer to give their newer players or their younger players just experience in the booth and then come in with a more experienced player to just clean up them, because experience is very important when it comes to GSTL. Being inside that booth is completely different to being in the team house or at home. And every player needs that experience. It's not something you can get very easily here in Korea either, because it's such a tough field to even get through the Codec qualifiers, let alone to get on the TV here in the GSL.
Very true. Quick factory following this up for Ryung here. You did, of course, get that faster backdoor gas, so when you mine out of that gas, you get your 100 gas pretty quickly.
Yep.
SCV comes in here, does see the fast outside expansion. He's going to want to check immediately to see if there's any sort of tech over here. I'm kind of surprised he didn't check for a fast third. And he may... Nope, not quite. But oh! Sick move by Revival. Makes the lair as soon as the SCV dies. Not quite soon enough, though. If you check his vision, I don't know if you guys got a shot of it, but yeah, he did see that. Always, guys, tip for you guys. When a scout dies, there is like a split second where you can still see, so you have to make it like a little bit later. Don't just immediately go, oh, well, he blew up. The animation happened so I can make it, because he'll still see that.
Well, that is unfortunate for Revival, of course, throwing down that Roach Warren as well to be safe from the Hellions that are coming. There's a starport on the way here from Ryung as well. And oh, Baneling Nest. Very quick.
I think we're going to see a quick Banshee coming out of the starport. He is making a tech lab on that barracks, and he's just going to try to control the watchtowers so that the Zerg player, Revival, cannot see the Hellions coming.
Yeah. Well, if we have in the middle of the map, the scout circling there did see those Hellions coming. He somehow manages to stay alive in the middle. But of course, like as you were saying, we do see Cloak Banshees as a follow-up.
I didn't expect Cloak, though. That's a little bit... It's a big investment.
It's interesting to me because he saw
also
the
saw
lair.
the lair, yeah. That's really weird to me.
But of course, he might just be trying to pick off that third base that he might assume is there, considering he took the front one.
This is true.
There's a lot of options that could be running through Ryung's mind right now. But of course, he had to have practiced against all these different options. We do have roaches now, trying to find where these aliens are hiding. But Ryung just using them to keep map control right now.
Second Banshee is on the way, and based on how it's rallied here, I think he might actually wait for a few Banshees before going, which would be pretty smart.
Yeah, Ryung learning from the last game as well, already has a bonker sitting there behind the rocks as well, so you can't really hit those easily at all with the roaches. If he does decide to be aggressive with them, of course. Getting a couple of hits,
man.
Yeah. But he is doing a good job of killing all those Zerglings off at the watchtowers. He's running circles around the roaches. Of course, roach speed is on the way. It's going to just make it a little bit harder to run away.
Very true.
Of course, we do have that third hatchery going up at that back door natural now. And this Banshee is really going to start being frustrating for this back door because there's no creep being spread up there. And the cloak as well, he's going to have to invest in an overseer if he wants to try and defend that. The Banshee coming across now.
And he's going to see the
Spire is on the way though.
Yeah, this is not really going to do a whole lot.
Oh, does lose one Hellion at the front of the base though. He's trying to run around these roaches. But the Banshee coming into the middle of the main here, he's actually one Queen by himself.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about, Unstable?
There's the cloak.
Oh, he may actually take out one of these queens.
Looks like it. Is there an overseer? I can't see an overseer. There it is.
Oh, nice transfuse, though.
There are 3 queens there as well. Where is your overseer? It did just morph.
A second Banshee goes and attacks the backdoor expansion, but there's nothing there. And this Banshee will be taken out.
Nice queen positioning here at the back and the front. Just going to be completely surrounded.
Retreat. Well, except over to the left. There's a slight passive retreat. There was a Banshee at the back expansion. I don't know where she went. Oh, she went back into the main. She did get 5 kills. You guys didn't get a shot of it, but that's okay.
This whole time, Ryung has taken his third base out at the front. And looking at supply, they're pretty much dead. The roaches, now that they have speed, a little bit harder to run away from them. But this entire game, the trend I'm seeing is control the middle of the map from Revival.
Yeah.
Not Revival, Ryung.
Yeah, these are guys coming out, man. They'll just take out some roaches as well. That's what the Banshee is really there for. The harassing and all that, that's fine. But the real reason that Terran players make Banshees usually this late is just to control those watchtowers. Clean off the lings. Make sure the roaches aren't there. Harass as well, you know. If you can get away with killing a few drones, why not? Force some spore crawlers, why not?
But now he's got 9 mutas in production, also +1 air attacks, +1 melee attacks. We're getting some tanks in position here as well.
And he's gonna...
Oh, right as that happens, saw that space coming in with the roaches from the bottom. I don't think he's realized this.
Yeah, that was a little weird. He didn't quite react properly.
The muta's coming in straight onto the tanks as well. Nice flanking here from Revival. It's completely shut down what Ryung was trying to do. He does have those 2 cloaked Banshees. Will take out the rest of these roaches if they chase them.
Yeah, this is looking bad for Ryung. He's losing a lot of critical units here.
Yeah. We will have turrets going down at the third here, but I don't think it's going to be up in time. Does force the mutas to back off, but still, very close game between these guys. It's the roaches that are really punishing Ryung right now.
Yeah, he's just using these roaches to support the mutas.
Fighting on top of that turret, losing a lot of mutas there when he didn't have to.
He's just trying to trade a little bit and keep Ryung away as he takes that 4th base. He needs to be a little bit more careful about what how he does it, but what he's doing I think is a good thing. And these Banshees are going to try to deny this base,
could actually
but
get
they're
that
spotted.
Queen. I don't think they have enough energy to actually re-cloak yet.
One has enough to cloak for like 2 seconds, and then there's mutas there, so he's just going to run away.
Of course, Spore Crawler's in the third base there. Just stopping any kind of harassment, but looks like Ryung is moving back out with his Marines. Needs to be careful, because there are quite a number of mutas out on the field now, and Banelings being morphed, their +1 attack is also finished.
Nice sensor tower placement here by Ryung as well, so we can see mutas coming into his third base.
He has to realize that Revival's taken that 4th again, because he saw it right as he was pushing forward.
He knows he's just trying to decide exactly what he wants to do. Stims a bunch of Marines, runs forward, and...
He's sitting on top of that creep, so Revival knows exactly where he is.
Yeah, he just wants to scan and kill some tumors, it looks like. That's what he's going to do. Smartly does not stim a second time. Look at that creep spread. It looks like he's organized creep.
Well, he did have 3 queens very early, so one of them is going to bounce. It's a lot of mutas there now.
Cloak just really didn't pay off very well for him. And I think it was maybe too much of an investment early on.
Needs to be careful here.
There are a lot of mutas, though.
But there is a good amount of Marines. As long as he doesn't get caught off guard by the banelings, he should be able to clean those up.
He's got to be very careful where he puts his tanks.
What is that one muta doing?
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want those mutas to do that. Bad things happen. +2 flyer attacks on the way for Revival, but 2/2 infantry upgrades as well as +1 vehicle weapons on the way. For Young,
he's going
to target down some of these siege tanks.
Well, all the banelings run in first, not the links, and he's now running all his Marines back. All the banelings just torn apart by those siege tanks there.
Yeah, that's looking very good for Ryung, that particular engagement anyways, but Revival has taken a 5th base. It's finishing up here. Ryung looks like he wants to prepare to get aggressive. He's destroying the rocks, as well as making another command center, so he's going to expand as he moves forward here. Expanding towards his opponent smartly.
Yep, and it will also reduce the distance it's going to take for him to get to that main random...
Bad rally muta. Get out of here.
Transfusing a couple of those as well, but he's going to have a hard time considering those siege tanks are up the cliff now, and these Marines moving forward.
Just trying to scare some of these earlings out. Whoa! Those banelings, I don't even know what happened to them. They like attacked each other. That was super
Here come the mutas coming in from the north, though. I don't think there's enough to take out these Marines. The wings of banelings coming from the back as well. Some more mutas. I don't think he's...
Oh, that was the worst possible angle to attack with those banelings, but doesn't matter.
He got a lot of mutalisks there. We're looking at the same supplies anyway. He's just going to have to survive this counterattack that's going to be coming very quickly here from Revival. Does get one many back.
This is a pretty close game. It's a lot closer than it appears. Right now, it looks like Revival is just owning it up, and Ryung can't really do a whole lot. But the thing is, now Ryung has a really scary army. He cleaned up, like you said, about half of those mutas, and that means he's not really scared about counterattacks as much as he used to be, and so he's just going to get aggressive.
Well, he does have that Thor there as well. Looking at the units tab, he does still have 16 mutalisks, but
he had to,
there's the banelings.
Yeah, he had to remake those mutas, which means less banelings, and essentially those mutas themselves aren't going to really participate that much in this fight, but he is going to try to use them to harass here. Nice timing on sending these mutas over here. +3/3 infantry weapons and armor coming out. +2 flyer attacks, though, going to finish up. It means he's going to take out tanks and turrets so much faster. Speaking of taking out turrets.
Yeah, nice job by Revival. He's moving away from where the army is, getting away from those Thors and the majority of the lead. But still losing a couple there. There's a drop that's not really doing anything down the bottom. I'm sure he'll notice in a second. He is moving his Marines into the natural. He's going to catch a Queen off guard, throwing down a scan, and here comes from behind all these slings and banelings surrounding that door.
On the other side, going for the siege tanks. I don't know if this is the right engagement right now, though. He's losing too many units.
There's so many Marines there. He's completely cleaned that up. He has now 30 supply up. That drop is coming down here.
That's
Yep, GG.
Man, I was like, you got to be a little bit more careful than that. He kept trying to flank with his units, but not the right way.
Well, it was just the slight timing. Like we saw that one engagement where the banelings went in first and the lings went slightly to the left. If you just led with the lings a little bit easier, that engagement would have been a lot more beneficial to him. And then again, just before, we saw all the lings chasing on to that Thor, getting hit a lot more by the siege tanks. If he just run them straight into the siege tanks, and he really needed a few more banelings to be in there as well. But either way, well played by Round, getting his team back in it, tying it up 1-1. It'll be a long day here.
It is going to be a long day. I love long days, man. Well, TSL, I just think about very carefully what they want to do here.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll send out a Terran right now. I don't think they're going to send out Gentleman. Probably see him last. I also don't think we'll see Clyde. You know who I think we'll see? I think we'll see Killer. I think that's who we're going to see.
I think it'll be Killer or Clyde, I agree.
I don't think it'll be Clyde.
Clyde might be being saved.
They want to save him, exactly.
We have seen some amazing games from him, of course, against his former teammate, now StarTale Trickster, the other day. He did, of course, lose that set, but still played extremely well. So,
yeah, he did.
Yeah, I'd say he's being saved for Protoss.
Yeah, probably. Clyde's TVP and his TVZ is something that he's played a lot more often. His TVT, you hardly ever see it, and for that reason, I think it's not like it's a bad matchup for him. He just hasn't been practicing for it as much recently. I think that's why we most likely won't see him come out just right now. Whereas Killer has been playing a lot against Terrans right now, and he's been practicing, and he's shown his PvT in the past can be quite good.
Yep.
I think we might end up seeing him here.
Well, either way, it's going to be a must-win here for TSL. They really need to get that momentum back that they acquired from the first game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of There's a lot of ways they can go about it. That's for sure. Their lineup isn't as big as the SlayerS team, but it definitely has depth.
It does have
and
a lot
that's
of
what
depth.
you need.
A lot of their players, I mean, not to say that SlayerS players don't have as much depth, but a lot of SlayerS players haven't seen so much, they're somewhat predictable. Whereas some players like Gentleman, I have to say his name like that. You can't just say Gentleman, you have to be like Gentleman. Like in the Team Fortress intro with the spy.
Oh,
Something's happening. Oh, they're just cheering for Revival and welcoming him back after his defeat. He did well, I gotta say. A few misengagements there.
Yeah, Game 1 was really, really impressive.
Oh,
where
absolutely.
he actually prepared for it. Game 2, anything can be thrown at you. So he was a little bit off guard by those positions as well. Didn't help him at all.
Very true.
But here we go. Let's find out.
Oh, who is that? I can't actually see his face. Oh, they always do this to me.
You can't
Is that Clyde? I think it is Clyde. I can't see his face though. Well, someone said JYP.
JYP.
Yeah, that is JYP. It's not Clyde.
This is going to be good.
This is going to be very good. JYP.
Not many people have seen this, but we've seen him play before.
Oh, we have.
And it was amazing.
Watch out if he goes blink. It's like
want to deal with that.
We watched him play a PvP where his opponent had like literally twice the number of stalkers as he did, and he just like won the game.
Won.
He just fought and then ran away and then went to a different place and then blinked back again. Like when he wins this game, he's actually just gonna like blink out of the booth and then give everyone a high five. He has experience. He's actually a stalker. I want to find out if he named his name after the entertainment production company here in Korea that actually does a lot of stuff with like hip hop groups. JYP Studios, man. I want to know.
So that's where it came from.
I think. I mean, it would be too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Yeah, it does not look nervous at all.
No, he doesn't. Absolutely not. We're gonna take a 2-minute break, guys. So when we get back, JYP versus Ryung here at the TSL.